Now after that, guys, go back to your work items. Now I will select local news. For this feature, I need to add what I need to add, guys? User stories, correct? Okay, under local news, what are the user stories, guys, for this feature? What we have? Telangana news, correct? Yes. Click local news feature. For this, add existing item. Here, search for Telangana news. This is one user story. Add it. Next, Andhra news. Second user story. Done. Add and save. Done, guys. Now, let me go to the work items. Under Telangana news user story, I need to add two tasks. Let me add existing item. First one is Sachin task. Second is Rahul task. If you look at here, guys, what I have done, saved. Let me go back to the work item, guys. If you look at here now, go to the backlogs. And here, guys, simply click on settings button and select epic, guys. Otherwise, we can't see the epics. Select it. Now, guys, if you expand and select epic, guys, can you see by this diagram what is clear, guys? If I draw a diagram like this, a hierarchical picture, will my project manager know about the project, guys? Did you get my point, guys? What are we doing here? We are trying to draw a hierarchical picture for my project. If you look at this, guys, the name of the project is TV9 News, correct? And it has two features, local news, global news. And guys, I'm not attached anything to the global news, guys. But if you expand local news, you can see there are two user stories, correct? And when I expand this user story, I can see there are two tasks, correct, guys? If I send this picture, will my project manager gets an idea about the project? Who is doing which work? How many tasks are there? But in real time, guys, what is the length of this picture? It will be like a big one. You will be having 100 to 200 tasks. There will be at least 50 to 60 user stories, and there will be at least 10 to 15 features, and you will have one epic. So guys, here what we have done with these boards, with the work items, we will create all those things, guys. Once we have created it, we will create this backlogs. And after that, guys, anyone knows what is the sprint? Okay, so tomorrow I'll explain about these sprints, queries, and delivery plans. Let me go back to the repos. Today, guys, just because it's again it is free for all, so I want to explain more. If you look at here, guys, what is the repo? Can anyone tell me? In the boards, what we have done, guys, we have derived tasks. And if you look at here, guys, I can know how many tasks are there. And I have assigned the task to the people also. This user story, 2 people will work on this user story. So I know how many tasks are there, and I know how many resources I need to have to complete those tasks. So planning is done. Now go back to the repo. Guys, can you tell me why we use the repo? To store the project code. We know that. Now simple, guys, click on the files. If you look at here, just click the button initialize. Guys, this is my repository, my project repository, guys. And it has only one branch for now, which is main. Currently it is empty, guys. Nothing is there. It's an empty project. Now, guys, what we'll do in real time, guys, there could be one single project, single repository, which will contain all 3 components code. For example, guys, can anyone tell me how many components will be there, guys, in any 3-tier or 4-tier architecture? Can you tell me what are the minimum components of any project?
3.
3. What are these? What are those?
Front end, back end,
Yes.
and DB.
Yeah. For example, guys, you simply create a new repository and give a name, guys. For example, it is for front end programmer, front end code. Create. What you have done, guys, you have created a new repository for the front end code, and for the back end code, you create another repository, back end code. And for the DB script also, guys, you can create a repository, create for DB1, database repo. If you look at here, guys, I have 3 repositories. In real time, guys, what will you do? You only have to create a project, and after that, you need to create these repos. And guys, there is a team waiting to write the code for this project. And guys, what should you do? For example, if it is a front-end team is there, you only need to click this button, clone, and send this URL to them, guys. That is only your work. What should you do? Create the project, create the repository. Once the repo is created, you just click the button, clone, give this URL to them, guys. Then what will they do, guys? Generally, what is the work of the front-end developer? They will write the code and they will push the code to here, guys. For that, what they will do, guys, very simple. Guys, you have to download Git, which is must, guys. I'm providing the URL, Git download. Guys, download for Mac or Windows or Linux. Windows, download it. I'm providing the URL in the Slack, guys. Every day, guys, I will share all the assignments and topics related documents in the Slack channel. So you just download Git. Once it is downloaded, now, guys, what you need to do? You right click here, guys. Open Git GUI. This is the Git GUI, guys. Now what guys? What did I just tell you? You have to provide the clone URL of the front end repo to the programmer. Then what will he do, guys? He'll open in the laptop. He'll just click the button, clone existing repository, and they will give the URL which we have given to them. This is the source location. In the destination location, guys, what will they do? They'll create their own local repository. Very simple. They'll open one project. You can see inside the project, they will create their own. For example, this is project 64 front-end code, P64FE clone. If you go here, guys, this is whose laptop is this, guys? For now, it is front-end developer laptop. Inside the projects, you can see, guys, there is a folder called project 64FE. This is known as local repository, which is there inside the programmer's laptop. And guys, now let us do one thing. For now, guys, I'll provide one URL. For example, there is free HTML template. I'll provide this URL, guys. You also can download the templates. Select any template, guys. Very simple. Select any template. Let me select this template. Download it. In real time, guys, there is a programmer who will give the code. Currently, we don't have any programmer. So I'm getting the code from this particular website. Let me extract it, extract all. In future, guys, I will give actual codes, guys, for React, .NET, everything, guys. So, okay, this is the actual code, guys. Just copy this. Now, what the programmer will do, guys, he has actually cloned a project's local repository. Now, guys, what is the name of it? P64FE. Here he will paste everything. That means he will start writing his code in this folder, guys. Once it has been written, guys, what he will do? You can see this is the UI now, guys. Git UI. He'll just click the button rescan. When he click the button rescan, guys, all newly created files will show here, guys. Then he has to click the button state change. When he click the button state change, guys, what will happen? All the files are now ready to be moved to the cloud DevOps account repo. Once we have staged it, now you have to give a commit message. For example, give any proper message, entire code to the repo. to remote repo or Azure repo. You can give anything. Commit it. Once you have committed, click the button, push and click the button. Guys, you can see I'm pushing into master branch. What is master, what is main, everything will be explained in our future classes. Don't worry. For now, let us push it, guys. If you look at here, guys, I have successfully pushed the code from a local repository to the remote repository. If you go here, guys, very simple. If you look at here, there is a master branch is there. Can you see the entire code has come here, correct? How the code come here, guys? Can anyone tell me how the code come here and what is this repository? It is called a remote repo or Azure repo, correct, guys? Now I told you the programmers will create one local repo, guys, in their systems, and whatever they add, they remove by using the Git GUI. They'll constantly push their code from this location to this location, correct? Did you get my point, guys? In the same way, what you have to do, you have to give the backend URL to the backend guys. They will push their code here. So guys, it is the programmer's responsibility to push the code to the repository, guys. Once the code is available here, then what should we do, guys? What should be the next step?
Build. We want to build an artifact.
Yeah, that means we need to create a build pipeline. You know, guys, first code has been finished. We have derived the task, that is done. Next, in the repository, when we have assigned the task to the programmers, they will write the project code. In real time, guys, they will take 5 to 6 months to completely write the project code. Once they have taken that much of time, they need to push their code to the repository so that we can create a build and release pipeline and we can push the code to the cloud, correct? Now, guys, before creating a build and release pipeline, what we need to create? We need to create a service in the cloud. Will you agree, guys? And why we need a service at the cloud, guys? Because that service will hold the code of the project and it will give a URL for my project. Very simple. For now, guys, I will use this app services. You can see this is app services. Now, very simple, guys, how you will create one service. You will not write a single line of code, guys. You simply click some buttons, that's it. Click the button create, click the button web app. I want to create one web application, guys. Click it, and after that, guys, you can see each project you have to select a resource group. For now, guys, if you don't have, for example, guys, this is about project 64. Just type resource group for my project 64. Done. And after that, guys, you have to give a name to it. For example, if it is some company's website, for example, XYZ company, any name, guys, okay, it is available. This is the company's website, xyzcompany.azurewebsite.net. Next, guys, we have to provide a runtime stack. For example, guys, you know, for any website, there is code written. And guys, if the code is written in .NET, select .NET as a runtime stack. If the code is written Go, select Go. If the code is written Java, select Java. If it is React, Angular, Vue, select Node. If it is PHP, select PHP. If it is Python, select Python. For now, for HTML, .NET is okay, guys. Select .NET. Next, you have to select the OS, and after that, you need to select the region, guys. Can you tell me what is region? Very simple, guys. When we work in any company, there will be a number of clients. For example, there is a client for this project, guys. The client belongs to US. So, guys, and you have another project where the client belongs to Australia. You need to always select the region which is nearer to the client. Region is nothing but, guys, when we create this particular service in the cloud is nothing but data center. Data center. You can see this is a data center, guys, where
we are uploading some of the real-time project videos of Azure DevOps and Admin on our YouTube channel. To complete all the projects, click the link in the description for this course. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notifications of our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.